It is a hope nurtured by the solidarity of communities worldwide who refuse to turn a blind eye to this injustice. And hope in gatherings like this, where we come together to honor the memory of the fallen, to demand accountability, and to reaffirm our commitment to peace and justice. And as we stand here tonight, let us not only remember the lives lost, but also feel the depth within the absence in our souls. We will continue to channel our grief into action, standing in solidarity with the oppressed and marginalized, and demanding accountability from those who perpetuate violence and suffering. In their honor, let us pledge to be voices of compassion, advocates for peace, and champions of justice. Tonight, you will hear the toll it has taken on our very own here in Ottawa, including mine. Stories that will pierce the heart. For my own family, the pain struck close to home on October 12th. We lost my uncle, my cousin, and his 2-year-old granddaughter. 3 generations in one family, torn apart by this senseless violence. And just last week, my father's cousin, working as a paramedic, tragically discovered his 10-year-old son dead at a scene he was responding to. And just yesterday, my father's cousin was simply going with her children to buy bread from a bakery when an airstrike struck the bakery, murdering her and her 3 children.
I want you to understand the gravity of this situation. As of today, several of my relatives, Canadian citizens, Barak, Hashim, their father Ahmed, and their uncle Ma'an, all Canadian citizens have been unjustly kidnapped and held hostage by the Israeli occupation forces. Their abduction has cast a shadow of anguish over my family, over all of us. As of now, across both the Al-Shad and Al-Agha families, there have been over 150 murders. This is what motivates me and all of us to come to events like this. Not only should we continue to have our voices heard against the criminal entity that is the Zionist state, but it's also our moral responsibility to do so. For those like Barak and Hashim, and especially the young children like my relatives Tanin and Asil, aged just 1 and 2, whose lives were cut short earlier in this genocide. It is a pain that so many families in Gaza are experiencing right now, a pain that no one should have to endure. The anguish of uncertainty, the fear of not knowing the fate of your loved ones, it's a burden that weighs heavy on us all. These unjust actions must not be overlooked or excused under the guise of political agendas. The world must not turn a blind eye to the atrocities that are taking place in Gaza, and it is imperative that we rise up and make our voices heard, not just within our communities, but to our political leaders and on the global stage. The Palestinian spirit is unwavering, and in the face of such adversity, it is essential that we stand united, demanding justice, freedom, and dignity for all Palestinians, including my relatives Barak, Hashim, Ahmed, and Ma'an.
We are not here today to passively listen, empathize for a moment, and then return to our daily lives as if nothing had happened. Every time a Palestinian shares their story or shares an image or video on the ground in Gaza, they're not doing so because it's easy or because it's enjoyable to continue to broadcast the most painful experiences of their lives. They are doing so to share the truth, to show us, to mobilize us. So let what you hear today and what we have seen and heard for the past 126 days move you to direct and immediate action in any and every way you can. Life cannot go on as normal in any way until all our demands have been met. We demand a complete and permanent ceasefire. We demand the siege on Gaza be immediately lifted. We demand an end to Canada's disgraceful, unconditional support for the Zionist entity, including an end to all weapons sales and a complete arms embargo. We demand an end to the Canadian government's hypocritical double standards regarding family reunification, and for our government to do its part in protecting their citizens and their families and bringing them to immediate safety. And of course, we demand and will continue to demand a complete end to the occupation and a free Palestine from the river to the sea within our lifetimes, inshallah.